Hello everybody and welcome to the lonely sadness. That is Banter Blitz with Jan Gustafsson, episode 107. You don't understand. I could have had class. Could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Sort of a bum. Which is what I am. And that's why I'm sitting here. Playing you guys in Banter Blitz. So challenge me to a game of 5-minute chess if you're a Chess24 premium member. And I will be sweating a lot. Hopefully not because of your moves, but because it feels exceptionally warm today. Maybe it is because the studio has been occupied most of the day. What's the past tense of snuck? I just snuck in here after Lukas Winterberg finished recording his series. And therefore, little announcement time for this Banter Blitz. I hope we managed to fill the show. Because normally we announce it like a couple hours earlier, which is still way too late, of course. But today, it's been minutes earlier. Having said all of that, let's play a lovely game of chess. Let's see if somebody can hear me. Because, you know, someone might have tinkered with the sound settings, recording other stuff. Let's see if we have challenges. How often do I say let's see or let's? I don't know. I don't know why I certainly say a lot. And I never play against Mr. Schrummel. Schrummel from the Germanys. Schrummel. What does Schrummel stand for? I know Schummel, which is cheat in German. I know Grummel, which is when I don't know the English word. Stomach produces a weird sound indicating that it's hungry, but I'm not familiar with Schrummel. Well, I might never find out. Knight f3, d5, g3. This is one of these positions where, if I stay true to my usually very boring repertoire, I should normally play knight f6, followed by e6 every game, which I will do in this game. I don't always do it. I play a lot of e6, c5, bishop g4, whatever. But this is the consistent way to play, because I can transpose back to my lovely Catalan repertoire after c4, dc4 here, which is what we do. And you don't have to learn that much extra stuff. You have to be familiar with d3 setups, but they're not that scary. And with an early c4 without d4. But all of those things can be handled. Queen c2, this is of course the main tabia. Here a6 has been the main move for centuries and the move I recommend in my video series. But I would like to experiment, play the move b6 in this game, which recently has gained a bit of popularity. I've seen some people do it. Mr. Sam Shankland has been employing this move. And I believe also Hu Yifan used it to get a good position against. Who could it be? Levon? I think it was against Levon in the World Cup. So, nothing from the other world, of course, but if the bishop manages to get here uncontested, black should have few problems. And after b6, I guess the critical moves are bishop g5 or knight e5 or whatnot. I haven't really studied it, as I say, about every line. But it seemed like an interesting alternative to the main line a6. For more info on a6, of course, watch my, may I say so, lovely video series on the topic. Where's the chat? Did I forget to open the chat? I had it earlier. Maybe I closed it. Sorry. Where did you all go to? Probably the yelling. Sound is off. We can't hear you. Is out of control already. Nah, sound is good, as Mr. Dodgy confirms. And Mr. Dodgy would never lie to me. That much we have established. So that's a big relief. I'm not wearing a tie or proper pants. It's sort of a miracle I found this jacket lying around in the studio. Because that's a long, disturbing story. I'm not sure I'm comfortable sharing it with you. Yeah, I am. I have very few secrets. So I like to bring my daughter, or I don't like to, but I do it. I bring my daughter to kindergarten early in the morning, like 8ish. And after that, I like to go to the gym. After I went to the gym, which opens at 9, and I do this. You do make 3 circles. It only takes like 45 minutes. It's 9:45, and that's a tricky spot because I go to this, what do they call this, boutique sort of gym, some small place. They don't have showers. So then I have to decide if I want to go back home. Yeah, I gotta realize I already went to the kindergarten, then to the gym, and then back home. Or if I want to go to work directly. Today I thought Luca's recording, I won't do any on-camera stuff. And I am cool with my colleagues having to suffer my slightly smelly and bummy appearance. So it happened again. I think we've had this problem. I'm wearing sweatpants and I am not really fit for business at all. And what were we talking about? Yeah, this line. It's a bit of a boring position now, but I should not be worse. Generally, if you can get in c5 and put your bishop on this long diagonal to oppose the enemy bishop, then you tend to equalize in this Kuryakin position. Catalan. Of course, there are exceptions to the rule. Sometimes you gotta be a little careful about the c6 square, like here after knight e5. I'm gonna have to pay some attention, and I'm also gonna have to invent some way to mix it up a little bit, because it does seem like Schwimmer is not really opposed to exchanging a bunch of pieces. And who can blame him? He is outrated by more than 1,000 very, very important chess24 rating points. Therefore, I cannot really criticize him all that harshly for his plan to vacate the whole board. But of course, I still want to crush him somehow. Which, I don't know, we're getting closer to uncrushable territory. Actually, normally I lose these games because I pay insufficient attention. And then I lose material. Like here, knight c7, e5. See? We're headed down a dangerous path against Mr. Schwimmer. Bishop e3, b5, b3. Yeah, I'm not better. How can I win this? Won't be easy. It was never meant to be easy, baby. h5, scary, huh? h4, no h4. He's smart. Schwimmer is too smart. He puts his pawns on light squares. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of winning potential left in this very position, I would say. But it's like Mr. James Bond used to say. Martini, stirred, not shaken. See, I don't know any Bond quotes. We had the topic the other day because I watched them all in German. Geschüttelt, nicht gerührt. When I was a young man, so much younger than today. There's absolutely no winning chances here. His whole camp is pretty much unobtainable. There's a lot of unobtainium hidden on all these central squares. But I shall try anyway. He can probably take, I don't think there's any inroads. At least, let's give Schwimmer something to think about. Because so far, well, I can't say that I've lost any more hair thinking about the game. But so far, it feels like I have not posed all that many problems. And I want to pose you problems, Mr. Schwimmer. Don't you want a little brain teaser? Don't you want to have something to ponder? Something to think about? I'm completely fine losing this position by letting your king invade, but I don't want it to be like a lifeless draw. Now he's going to go bishop d8 because he's scared. He doesn't go bishop d8. Why didn't you go bishop d8, Schwimmer boy? Now? But now it could be too late. Progress. Probably still a draw, but progress has been made. One problem is after I take here, takes, king h4, king f4. It's probably still a draw. King h3, king f5, h4. Yeah, it's not good enough. So we're gonna have to find other ways to keep Schwimmer busy. What could these ways be? Once again, I'm perfectly fine losing because his king penetrates. I just don't want it to be a lifeless draw. So if I take king f4, but then I can go after this guy. Can I? Bishop e1, takes, king f5. Ugh, king f2. 4, king f4. Too complicated. If I took king g6, would pick up the h-pawn, which I didn't want to happen. Therefore, I had to keep it alive. And hopefully, Henry, the h-pawn, will show me the money. And Schwimmer resigns. Yeah, that was an exciting game of chess. Sorry, Mr. Schwimmer, of course, it was a dead draw. And for most of the way, where did it all go wrong? Yeah, here bishop d8 looks safer, let's say. Anyway, let us play more chess, shall we? Who shall I play next? Because frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn who I play next. But I must play somebody. And who better to play than Ballon 24, which sounds like a worthy addition to the 24 family. There's all kinds of serious business called 24, Check 24, then there's Chess 24, and now there is Mr. Ballon 24, who I can only guess here, but I would imagine he sells balloons around the clock, 24/7, out of his garage. Like, you have to, how do you call this, blow them up? Fill them with air yourself? He can't do that for you. It's not part of his service. Because he's too busy memorizing openings like bishop to d3 and then c3, bishop to d2, c2 and d3. Can't expect Ballon 24 to also, while volunteering on Chess 24, and blow and selling these balloons to... By the way, in English it's balloons, right? Just so there's no misunderstandings. In German, and I would imagine in Norwegian, we call it ballon. We don't have the money for the 00, for the 007 business, so it's just ballons, not balloons. But that has not stopped Ballon 24 from developing a blossoming business out of his garage. Bishop e6 is another horrible, careless move. Well, it goes to show I'm not paying any attention when I really should, because d4 was a good move. And note to self, show some respect, not to your opponents or to yourself, but to the game of chess, instead of making up dumb, pointless balloon stories. Focus a little bit on the actual moves of chess, because a lot of people here are not cynical, lost causes like you, but people that actually enjoy the game of kings. Yeah, this show is not weird so far at all. Anyway, I picked up a pawn on c3 and I am now winning. It would need, I don't know, bunch of extra pawns, or if you're short on pawns, at least 99 balloons to make up for it, to hang in here. I think it's fairly hopeless. Bishop a4, always pin, if possible, but even that pin should not win the day. Or save the day, I should say. Win the day is already off the table. See, I'm a true fountain of idiomatic expressions. Win the day is off the table. I'll soon take my citizenship test. Mr. Dodger is saying, some of us are here to be educated, not about chess, obviously, TV shows and stuff. Yeah, what can I tell? That small minority. What did I watch? I watched this movie, Blade Runner 2049. Or I watched it as strong, because I fell asleep, like, for the second act, like 1 hour in. Then I woke up for the finale. I didn't like it. Like, it's visually stunning and, yeah, nice world building, blah, blah, blah. But it's so boring. Or I'm sure people would call it a different word. Like, it has this hypnotizing, meditative pace. Which really means boring. I guess it's code for boring. Takes, I don't know, like 3 hours. Nothing really happens. And Ryan Gosling is sort of running around fake sets where there's never any other people. The world doesn't feel lived in. And I'm sure it's very true to the original, blah, blah, blah. But I can't really judge on the story because I overslept this middle hour. But from what I've seen, nothing really happens in that movie. And I wasn't into it. I'm aware that critics love this movie, so probably this is just lack of education on my part. But not going to be able to do it. So, now that we've gotten my expert review of Blade Runner, full disclosure, I didn't like the original either. Like, I hadn't watched it for ages. At some point I was bullied, I think on this very show, for my lack of Blade Runner education. So I went and watched it. And yeah, there's more like people on the streets, so where is it, like LA, I guess, feels a little more lived in, but nothing happens in that movie either. It's like horribly slow paced too. And I guess that was the plan. If we do a sequel, let's make it at more horribly slow pace. So it's, maintains the tone of the original. I'm still not really focusing on this game. Knight e5 is a move now, bishop e5. Sorry, I got too worked up about the problems with Blade Runner. Also, nowadays, these are fast-paced times. We have the attention spans of flies. Don't make a 3-hour movie, Mr. Villeneuve. Not going to be able to do it. You know what? Let me correct that mistake I made earlier and admit the bishop belongs on g7. Its rightful location. Bishops should be fianchettoed. Same rule as action movies should have action. I'm reading the chat. This is not Radio Jan, which maybe you can tell by the lack of sunglasses and insults. I will also not accept any non-premium challenges, so become a premium member if you want to partake in this great, great excitement that is Banter Blitz, where you can see I am all eyes on the game. I'm fully focused on not only making you lose this game, but also making it very educational. I don't want you to feel like, I don't know, a sideshow to me ranting about whatever it is I'm ranting about that very day. Having said all that, what are you hoping for, Mr. Balloon? I will win, because I have 2 extra pawns. 3 extra pawns. I picked up another pawn somewhere. And I'm ahead on the clock. Sebastien Remillard is pointing out, and he has a point, that the dress code between me and Rayoyan is getting closer and closer. That is true, but today shall be an exception. Next show, I shall wear a tie, a pocket square, a nice crisp white shirt, and nothing else. I will Donald Duck it. But the party you'll be able to see top notch. Don't Google Donald ducking. Because if there's one way to make sure people won't do something, it's to tell them not to do it. Don't Google Donald ducking. Simple as that. See, I'm a true connoisseur of le human nature, as I like to call it. Queen. Check. Gimme. I expect you to get mated, Mr. Bond. See, whenever I do this slow roll mate, people resign earlier now. It's very disappointing and makes me think twice about slow rolling the checkmates again. The drunken lawyer, who after years of freeloading has become a premium member. Welcome, the drunken lawyer, is saying, in my outfit now, I would not fit into the dress code either, because automatic grammar corrections are part of the price here. Why is that, Mr. Drunken Lawyer? Are you overdressed because you're a lawyer? I think you're probably a student, not a lawyer yet. Is that correct? That assumption? Or are you underdressed because you're sitting there in your underwear on your couch? Do people sit on their couches in underwear? I don't know. Not sure I want to know. I'm playing Begotten, who plays the London system. Let's fianchetto this bishop. I don't normally do that in real life because, you know, sometimes this bishop hits a brick wall on this diagonal after this e3, c3. But that's not the whole story. Begotten decides to come back to mainstream and go c4. Nothing particularly wrong with it. Can I make it look slightly wrong is the question. I guess I can't actually. I'm trying to... Well, I could have just played castles d6 and some King's Indian setup. But instead I'm trying to transpose to some sort of Panov position, I guess you could call it, after e4, c6, d4, d5, ed, cd, c4, knight f6, knight c3, g6, where bishop f4 looks slightly out of place. Even though I think he has to go c5, I'm still not certain how out of place the bishop would really be there. But I guess we will have to find out. He goes knight c3 first, which is also fair. I'll just castle. Where's Begotten from? From Sweden! Shell, is it pronounced Shell? I think it should be Shell. Zachrisson. Zachrisson? Even though I'm called Gustafsson, I do not speak any Scandinavian language. I have like Swedish, I always get it wrong. And I always say I always get it wrong, and I still never learn. Which is a bit like my chess. I have a Swedish great-grandfather? Mother? But yeah, I've never spent a lot of time there, or mastered the language. Begotten took on d5, which in these positions, unless you gain something very directly, is not a good idea. And here after knight d5, he moved his bishop again, then he spent a move on a3. All of those not strictly necessary. So now, yeah, white is a little worse already. It's probably not yet fatal, and I'm aware Begotten is 1400, but I still should tell him what went wrong. Here, c5 is the way to go, in my not that humble opinion. Knight d7 was also perfectly healthy, but I couldn't see anything wrong with knight c6. Just get the pieces out, put the knight on a5. Yeah, such positions are already a little tougher for white to play because of the isolated pawn, and not a lot of initiative to show for it. So what do I do next? Knight c4 is plausible. Could take. Could go like queen d6 maybe. It's a bit of a weird move, but makes some sense, I guess. I want to go rook fd8, and if I have to put the queen on b8 to get it out of the way, I shall. And Artur Nabrowski informs us that Svidler is number 12 on the list, on the live rating list. Almost higher in career. Almost his highest rating ever, is that it? That's possible, yeah. Shout out to our boy Peter Svidler, who at the age of... I'm not sure if I'm allowed to reveal his true age. Let's just say, on paper, he's 41 years old. Yeah, has achieved a rating of 2764, which is pretty impressive. Had a good European thingy, Club Cup. And is he higher than Anish Giri now? I think he's certainly higher than Kuryakin. Let's look at the live list. Who cares about the exchange grabbing that's going on here anyway? Let's check the live list. Here we go. Svidler boy, yeah, ahead of Giri. I have mixed feelings about this. I'm always rooting for Svidler. But I also need Giri to be in the top 10. It's just more fun with Anish in the super tournaments. Ideally, both of them have to climb up a little further. But yeah, shout out to Peter Svidler. I'll have to catch up with him. I'm not sure what he's up to. He's probably back home by now. I should not lose on time while I check out all these lists. Against begotten here, who blundered the exchange in a slightly worse position due to this knight b3 trick. But it ain't over until the fat lady sings. Is that... We looked this up earlier. It's some opera quote. I've never been to the opera in my life, and I don't plan going anytime soon. But apparently they end operas with an overweight lady singing. Is that correct? Cass is wondering, do you think the Banter Blitz play here helped Peter? I don't think he owes everything to the Banter Blitz play here, but I would say like 98% of his success, or of what he knows about chess, he has learned during Banter Blitz. So absolutely. Dutch Defender says, hi all. How do I reply to that? Do I say hi Dutch Defender, or do I say hi all as well? I guess I should say hi Dutch Defender, but I'm not 100% sure about it. You know what? I'll make an exception. A conscious exception for Kokuaquery. Sorry for bungling that name. And play a 3-minute game, because it's his first game ever. And he doesn't know the rules, even though I say the rules. In the beginning of every show, literally every show, challenge me to a 5-minute game, if you're a premium member. But this time around, we shall forget all of those principles. And play a lovely speed game of 3 minutes against Kokuaquery. And I shall use my favorite system against the Benoni, the Knight E2 system. Which looks ridiculous, but it makes a lot of sense if you think about it. It's like a same-ish way you have not committed to f3, and you will only commit to f3 under the right circumstances. Once a black rook shows up on e8. Before that, you can still leave Facundo's options open. Go bishop e2, castles, maybe some bishop g5. This is a nice setup for white, and I do believe that it's one of the big reasons against going for the Benoni before white has committed a knight to f3. And here we are. Now that the rook went to e8, f3 is legit. You can play other moves here as well. Even under these circumstances, f3 is by no means forced. But I'll do it and then go to explain that in the normal, whatever, what do people call this? In the normal same-ish, where you play f3 time, will we manage h5, which is a very legit move. In the meantime, now queen out of the way, also perfectly legit. You could make other moves here. Queen d2, knight h7, and then it's this question I always have in these structures. I never have an answer to it. Do you go bishop h4, put your bishop on this weird square, but stop your opponent from going h4? Or do you not do it and play something like bishop e3, h4, knight h1, or bishop to h6, which are playable moves as well. So, as always, I have the questions, but not the answers. I will put this bishop here. Probably live to regret it. And hope that Kokuaquery does not punish me too harshly for my indiscretions. It feels consistent with the bishop on h4 to go for some f4 business. I know I played f3 a couple moves ago, but times change. The times, they are changing. Can I do this? I want to do this. And this is the typical Benoni pawn sack, which I guess is not always good, but it's good more often than not. Is that the rule? Let's hope so. Now, the most normal follow-up is f5. Sometimes you can go for some more violent means. But since this is, above everything, a program where we want to learn about chess and quote the game Penrose Tal from the year, whatever, long time ago, we shall go for the typical move f4, f5, and then explain, now that I played e5, no black minor piece has access to the square anymore, while our army not only has access to the e4 square, but we also open this diagonal, which, since black played h5, is an added cause of concern for the black player, and therefore this is many a time very, very good compensation for the price of just a pawn, my dear boy. I'm not sure I had to go for such direct operations, but look promising because rook f7 is in the mix, and if there's a problem that you can't fix, then you should do it in the mix. That's not a verbatim quote, but you get the idea. So how do I win now? Very hard to win. By the way, Mr. Paco Aguilar. No. Who's Paco Aguilar? Is that from Blood In, Blood Out? I think so. Has played a good game. Much stronger. But I guess that's not his real rating. He probably just doesn't play much. Than his 1702 rating on paper. And as usual, he will only succumb to some excellence in flaggering. Can take here. I don't want to have to calculate. Interesting game against Kokuaquery. I believe I played well for a while. I'm not sure in the end I might have, not gone for the harshest punishment. But remember this e5 takes f5 theme. It's a very useful idea to have in many a Benoni position. Alright, now that we've learned something, let's play, I don't know who to play. Kuryakin? He goes e4. It is high time. High time in Richmond High to play another Kuryakin. He takes. No hesitation. Takes on whatever the square is called, d5. And goes for this business. There was some idea here recently, this queen e1 move, which someone played against Vichy. And struck me as very smart. Was here, right? Oh, look at Kuryakin. Booked up. The point is, after queen e1, bishop e2 doesn't look ideal, but if you play a normal move like knight f6, white goes f3, queen h4, and you're in trouble. So I guess one had to take, but this position is of course slightly better for white, because he has the bishops. And bishops are often good pieces. I'm not sure if he wants to go bishop g5 or not. He wants to go f4, interesting. That calls for immediate action. Not sure he really did. That didn't feel like playing normal. Then he would just go knight d2, knight f3, knight e5. So let's, make it a little interesting. h4 is already a bit of a weakness, I would say. Not afraid to move all his pawns, left, right, and center, Mr. Kuryakin. I don't want to wait around with this knight for it to get hit, so we're headed towards f5 as soon as possible. And you know what? It's your lucky day. You can exchange your horse, your measly knight, for a beautiful bishop, if you want to. Wondering where I should go after knight b5. I was intending to play queen b6, but then a4 and a5. It's a bit annoying. So maybe I'll be humble and play queen b8. Looks very humble, I have to admit. King g2. You know which move I want to play, of course. But it might be a bit much, even for my standards. I'm not sure if I accompany it by more weird slurping noises. That will make a difference. I really want to take that pawn. Must find self-control. You take my self-control. Nah, it would have been too much. I don't know how it gets punished, but it most certainly would have gotten punished. At least now that I play king b8, I can place my queen on this square, which is a better square than b6 or whatnot, because it gives me access to this square as well. Isn't it a miracle how all these things are often connected? It's the magic of chess. I can't even fake enthusiasm. That's always been one of my big weaknesses. One of many. As for the position, I'm not sure what's going on. I've been skeptical about white's position, frankly, ever since he played h4. That felt like a little much. But still gotta show it. How do I take here? Rook is the most natural, I would guess. Knight takes is also interesting, but feels a little too art house, too showy. The knight is nice on f5 already, no reason to shuffle it around. e3, queen f3 is no real breakthrough yet, is it? Nah. Rook c8 might look like a weird move, and it probably is a weird move. But I wanted to stop him from going c4 so that the bishop has to stay locked up, at least for now. Now that this rook is gone, I shall go here and here. And normally, this is the part of the game where I start thinking about winning on time. So far I've played well, but now that we need to show some sort of punch to get the job done, I normally prefer to start with thinking about, the finer points of flagging. King h3. Can you do that? You know what? A leopard cannot change his spots. And in my case, my spots are enemy pawns. He should probably do the same thing. Grab a pawn. The other side of the board. Then I'll be upset that I missed queen takes h5. But it's still not an obvious move to play because it also opens lines in front of his king and so on and so forth. I would still take it in a heartbeat because giving me more pawns has never solved anything. Was this a pre-move? Bishop takes e3 pre-move? That's a risky game you're playing there, Kuryakin. Pinowich. Rook a1. Full disclosure, I was planning rook a1, rook a3, but now I'm starting to realize that after rook a3, rook f3, rook f3, I did not accomplish all my lofty goals. Now queen h5? How does that work? I don't think that works at all. And you know how greedy I am. You cannot bluff me, because I'd rather get mated than missing a chance of grabbing material. Which on one hand is bad, because you often get mated. On the other hand is good, because it makes you unbluffable. Other people are unbreakable. I'm unbluffable, because I like to grab stuff. Grab him by the pawns. Thanks for the game, Mr. Kuryakin. Yeah, I'm not sure. So far, so good. But I don't like this h4 move. I feel like, yeah, either. Probably just go for this. I don't think anything too bad happens on the h file. Then put a knight on e5. Whatever. Complicated. More games? Oh, a Bourbon. Another 3-minute challenge. Okay, guys, last time. Even for the hispanohablantes. Yo prefiero jugar 5 minutos en vez de 3 minutos. Porque 3 minutos no me permite hablar tanto. I should not use this weird... I have enough trouble pronouncing any word in Spanish as it is, so I should not make up fake accents. Anyway, stop challenging me to 3-minute games. Keep it light and breezy. Let's play, 5 minutes of chess. 5 minutes, so we can talk a little. Because now we'll get into Flagville territory so early. It won't be as much fun. And I won't be able to give you all these heartbreaking stories about why I'm wearing sweatpants. This move b6 was recommended by Paco Vallejo in his video series in Spanish, so that's probably where a Bourbon picked it up. I also dealt with it in my white series. I changed my mind about it a couple of times. I even had to change the video at some point. Here after c5, d5, queen e7. Bishop e2, I believe, was what I finally settled on. b6 is not a dumb move, but black has to know exactly what he's doing. And there's no time, Bourbon, to restart Paco's video series now and to go look it up. There's just no time for it in a 3-minute game. Another reason why you should have gone for a 5-minute game. d6, for example, queen a4 check, kind of tempting already, no? Knight c6, queen c6, bishop d7, queen b7. There's no doubt in my mind I'm playing this, so I should really just play it, and then after knight c6 start thinking. Because I can also go d5. Of course I could have played a normal move like bishop d3, d6 not critical, but typically d6 is not kind to Mr. Bishop here. And queen d7 really is also not very kind to him. So now it's a piece. He has 1 pawn for it, but in my book, which is not a great book, but still a book, 1 pawn is not enough. I should stop playing completely ridiculous moves just because I'm a piece up. But good thing about being a piece up is it allows you to take some liberties. Bishop e2 was insane. Still, piece is a piece, and I'm at peace with my position. I find it very hard to play these games where you're already a piece up after 10 moves, because you still have to win them if your opponent refuses to resign. But it's so hard to motivate. There's very little to win and a lot to lose. There's nothing to lose. It's Banter Blitz. That's hard to, get very excited about these positions. Pre-move. It's firing on all cylinders now. Not a pre-move, but a move. And a Bourbon resigns in this position. Yeah, don't play d6 is the main lesson to be learned from this game. Then after queen a4 check, I was a bit curious about this, because this does not feel all that comfortable of an outpost. After like a5, maybe there are at least some move repetitions, so I was probably gonna play d5. Should win, but still feels more messy than what we got in the game. Anyway, thanks for the game. A Bourbon, sorry about that opening. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a trap. Yeah, opening. Accident. I wasn't trying to trap you. I promise. This is an excellent username. So, let's play him. Let's play against WTF, Pizzagate WTF. What's Pizzagate? I've heard something about it, but I can't really remember. Is it? Ah, yeah, was this? It's a conspiracy theory. That's what I thought. Yeah. Yeah, that didn't happen. Allegedly. And allegedly, WTF, Pizzagate WTF is not around. Sorry. We shall start the countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Abort. Sorry, WTF, Pizzagate WTF. I enjoy saying that name. WTF, Pizzagate WTF. Rolls of the tongue. Let's play Springergabler instead. Springergabler. He's been anxiously waiting to blitz our 1e4. And we shall play the opening of my youth, 1g6. Springergabler lacks the strength to go for d4. Instead settles on d3. Generally, if your opponent is kind enough to hand you the center, not fight for it, then you should occupy it. I don't care that you also play the close Sicilian, so it's much more economical for you to go d3, knight c3, g3. Just play 2 d4. A lot of people have had to fight very hard for central control. If you can just do it on move number 2. Don't overthink it. Go for it. Ambitious Pawn is with us. And what are you recommending? Brawl in Cell Block 99, 2017. Good movie. I recommend. Is it a jail movie? I like jail movies. I enjoyed Shot Caller. I think we've talked about that. I'll go check it out. Capybara is wondering how's the weather in Hamburg yesterday. We had a lovely day for October. Sunshine. Yeah, that's about it. Sunshine. Like, not super warm, but it was nice. We're sitting outside. So, it's the same weather it always is in Hamburg. Could be nice for a day. Normally it's like sad, 10 degrees, slightly rainy. But sometimes the sun comes out for 5 minutes and we all get very excited. I'm very excited. Well, I just was on Portugal vacation, so I really can't complain about a lack of sun. But I'm going to Crete end of this month to do chess commentary on the European Team Championship. So no shortage of sun for Jan. A5 probably a little dubious here, allowing A4 and giving up this B5 square. And probably knight E8 or whatever was a better move. I'm reading Jan 2555. That's probably my future. My rating shall drop to 2555 and I'll be miserable about it. And you'll hear quite a bit about it as well. It says hottest 16 October ever in Belgium, 25 degrees. And chess player 007, you're already annoying me by asking about video series every single show I do. So he is currently occupied, but I will let you know once my shows are out. Once my shows are out, once my series are out. I'm constantly working on stuff. And the chess hire cat is saying we have nice hurricane in Ireland. Are hurricanes ever nice? I'm not sure about that. A lot of climate trouble these days, isn't there? That's why you come to the show, for great insights like this. A lot of climate trouble. No, but seriously, I can only see it in the news, but yeah, it's very disturbing. You can only imagine, like, Puerto Rico, 1 million people don't have access to clean water. Forests are still burning in California. Like, madness out there. As for this game, you normally, before you go bishop e3, you want to go h3 to stop knight g4 business. And here I got some moves with tempo, and the bishop on g3 is not ideal. So I had a feeling I had a good position. After e d5, I should probably just put the knight on e7. Bishop h4 is a decent move, because I was gonna play h6, g5, try to grab more space. And Bolo Canolo says, don't complain, it's 29 in Miami. Florida? Who's complaining? I don't think us here in Northern Europe would ever complain about 25 degrees in October. Capybara says he heard something about some kind of St. Pauli chess club. That exists. It's the same. It's part of that's the same club like the St. Pauli football club. They have a chess team. How do I win this position? It's a good position. Let's put the knight here. Make him decide if he wants to give up the bishop. And then face the wrath of the pawns rolling down the board or not. Philip Kane is saying, if you have to play something sharp against d4, c4, out of Queen's Gambit accepted, that's the least sharp opening there is. Chigoro in defense or Volga Gambit, which would you recommend out of the top of your head? Whoa. Well, since Queen's Gambit accepted is not sharp at all, and I have to play something sharp, I would probably go with the Benko. The thing with the Benko is it's not a full repertoire, and that's where people often go wrong. Like, it doesn't cover one knight f3, or d4, knight f6, c4, c5, knight f3. And apart from that, it also loses a pawn, which I understand is very thrilling to play Gambit, because you show your superior understanding that you're not just about pawns, but you're willing to part with one for long-term positional gains, and then you can play these 15 standard moves. So you always play in the Benko. But yeah, if I had to choose between those three, I'd do that. It's time to get these pawns rolling, baby. Earlier you could take, but rook e2 sort of blocked this connection. And rook e6 is just trying to, I don't know, make it look like you were expecting what happened. But it does not help. Bishop d1 leads to a rook up position. And so does bishop e6, which ties in nicely with ambitious pawns question about my groundbreaking series winning with a rook. It's not winning with a rook. Anybody can win with a rook. It's winning while you're a rook up, which is an underrated part of chess. I have not seen it covered much in chess literature. So I am pretty much on my own out there trying to create enough material by being a rook up as often as I possibly can to show you guys the advantages. Like here, I can use this spare rook I have to fight for the open e-file. He can't go rook e1 because he only has one rook and I would take it. If he had two rooks, he could have done it. But since he's a rook down, he's not going to be able to do it. And there you can see one of the many advantages of being a rook up yet again. I will try to create another illustration as we go along. But of course, it's very situational. Sometimes it's bad being a rook up, sometimes it's good. There's no rules, therefore I feel like I'm gonna have to write the rule book on when you want to be a rook up and sometimes you want to be a rook down. Like, there's so many exceptions. The bottom line is rook worth 5 pawns. So if you have like 8 pawns for the rook, then you probably want to be a rook down. But then, are you really a rook down if you have 8 pawns for it? Those are questions that have not been covered in chess literature at all. And I'm not sure if it's a rookspiracy going on. I recently watched the documentary Cowspiracy, so I'm very, very sensitive to all these ongoings. And trust me, I shall give you nothing but the truth about rook up scenarios in my upcoming, I don't know if it's going to be a book or a video series or both. No reason not to go multi-platform. Multi-platinum would be nice, but nowadays, you know how it is, people stream stuff or they get subscription-based models, so it's very hard to go multi-platinum, even with such a groundbreaking topic as a rook up. And now after rook h5, because now we've really seen the power of the extra rook that can roam around. It's like in LeBron James on defense. Doesn't cover anybody in particular. It's free to roam around because I have the other rook, like defending the f4 pawn. Now that Springer Gabler sees that, he does resign before losing on time, which I believe is a wise decision. And I read that Lawrence lost a rook up match versus Carlsen, didn't he? Technically, he won 5-4. He won 5 games and lost 4 games, which I think is as good a score as anybody's had against the world champion in a long time. So yeah, the fact that he was a rook up, I would not read too much into that, but focus on the plus score that Lawrence got against the world champion. Anybody new here? Anybody I have never played before? Oh, I've never played capybara. From Brazil. I don't think I've played a bazillion Brazilians on this show somehow. Maybe it's the time difference. And maybe it's that we don't have that many premium members from Brazil. But it feels like it's a rare occurrence. And I shall celebrate it by playing the, for me, rare move 4f3. I was just clicking through the games in the Euro Club Cup. And there was a very sharp game between, was it Mamedyarov and Hare Krishna? Mamedyarov and somebody, where they played this line with c5, d5, b5, that I believe I also advocated in my video series on the Nimzo Indian. Instead, capybara goes for a slower setup, trying to close the position, which is fine, it's not bad, but I prefer white in such positions. Because the bishop pair, even though it's not doing much right now, combined with the space advantage, tends to be a factor. Pretty soon, often, in these situations. Here, bishop g5 is just first forebode of events to come. One problem with bishop g5 combined with knight g3 is that now you can't go bishop h4, or at least you would have to sacrifice a piece. So I'll go back and argue that provoking h6 was worth it spending the time, but I'm not 100% positive if that is really the case. I read a lot of whining in the chat about guys that I only played once. Sorry dudes, I have a lot of challenges every game. Do you have the feeling that I'm playing somebody the 18th time in Banter Blitz while I only played you once? I don't think I'm doing that. But yeah, it's hard to please everybody. And I do apologize for all of it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I even did this show. I was just gonna go home, have a little nap, put my daughter to bed. That's about it. Oh no, I'm watching some TV show. I was just gonna get her out of the way so that I could go back to this TV show we're watching, which is called, I believe it's a Belgium show, believe it or not. La Trêve? Is that how you pronounce it? My French is pretty bad. I believe it's called The Break. It's on Netflix. It's good. I'm hooked. And Mr. Dodgy points out correctly, if it was 8 hours long I could play everyone, which is also not true. We've done enough of these 72-hour things. The thing is, due to the massive success that is Chess24 and all these bazillions of premium hours we have, we never run out of challenges. I wish that were true. But I do think, and I'm happy of that, if I may say so without talking nonsense for a while, that I don't run out of fresh opponents to play on this show. And you guys, even though it's a show, whatever it is, 107, I keep talking the same narcissistic nonsense, still show up to watch this. It's appreciated, even though I can't always express my true feelings. But without you, dear audience, I would be doing something else. Big Boy RG. Big Boy RG? Is that dirty? 2015. Is asking as a matter of interest, roughly how many challenges do you get? I don't know. Let's count. Today we didn't announce the show. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Very hard to scroll. 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Sorry, I gotta get back to the game. But yeah, there's some challenges. But today, not that many. Is it my move? Can I take the pawn? Why did my voice get so high-pitched? I used to have this very deep voice. That's a lie. But sometimes when I'm trying to fake enthusiasm, I go for this, and I don't think it's a good sound for me. And Ambitious Pawn saying Chess24 is a great site. Sure, we need more members, but we do have Mr. Dodgy. I could not agree more. I'm not so sure about my play in this game, but I managed to grab a pawn, which after all is what chess is all about. Sometimes I get criticized. Well, you just grab pawns. If it were so simple, wouldn't we all do it? See, I can do the whole thing. I can go for the positional exchange sacrifice. Because you guys bullied me, making me think just taking pawns wasn't enough. Now I have to pretend like, oh, look at me, I'm Mr. Petrosian. I studied my classics. I can sacrifice an exchange with the best of them. And I'm gonna get all self-conscious about it instead of just converting my extra pawn by making moves until I won on time, as any normal person would do. What have you guys done to me? You got me twisted. David4997 says, when will you do the Radio Jan again? I don't think I will do the Radio Jan again soon, because it annoys me. First of all, it's tough for me to do, because I'm such a nice guy. I have zero issues, as you know. And then, to behave in a not nice way, it's very, very taxing for me. So I have to recover for years and years from every one of these performances. Secondly, it annoys me greatly that whenever I do one of these shows, and then I do my 10 regular boring shows, all I hear is, this is boring, where's Radio Jan? Not gonna happen. And then people, whenever I say something, say, oh, he's doing Radio Jan right now. That's also very annoying. So, can't win. If you're stuck in my head, you really can't win. That is the bottom line. I should try to win this game against Capybara, who's hanging in there. Ever since you guys bullied me into that random exchange sacrifice, Capybara has been playing well. Well, I haven't. So, how do I get this train wreck back on track? Some good maneuvers here by Mr. Cappy. I liked bringing the knight to f6 as well. Well, my maneuvers slightly less stellar. Now he can maybe take and then go rook e8. Try to get some real counterplay. We'll find out. I'm gonna need this rook over here. Sorry, I gotta take a brief break from all my whining. From all the Weltschmerz to try to win this game, because it's by no means a given. So I was intending queen h3, rook h1. Then I thought knight g4 check, and then I thought, too tough to calculate. Let's see if he does it, and then worry about it. Rook e7. Is this on purpose? Are you giving me stuff? I'm tempted for the first time in my long, not very illustrious, but long career to not take an exchange. But then I thought, nah, it's an exchange. This pawn will come back to haunt you, Mr. Capyvarov. It's not a fortress, because I can take your a-pawn, sir. Ugh, bishop c3 was extremely careless, if I may say so. And probably I may say so. You don't mind me saying so, do you? Sorry, I gotta speed up a bit to make sure I win. But now my position is fairly winning. And therefore, Capyvarov loses on time. Bronstein12 is asking, is it possible to stop annoying Jan? Nah, annoying Jan will always be here. But we can block each other, Bronstein12. And we never have to hear from each other again. That might be the easiest way to do it. Mr. Dodgy says, I predict Jan will become one of the great character actors of our time. Radio Jan, Farmer Jan, Pirate Jan. I don't disagree with you. It's Who are the great character actors of our time? It has to be Nicolas Cage, #1. Then Chris Hemsworth, the guy that plays Thor, I would guess. And me. Maybe the other Hemsworth too. Liam Hemsworth, is that his name? Luke? I believe there's a lot of Hemsworths. So, yeah, I'll work on that. Before I get on that topic, I will work on playing somebody else. Oh, so many people I only played one game against. Or no games against. You know what? Let's give WTF, Pizzagate. WTF, another shot. Let's see if he's just here. And Bronstein12 says, it was just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. Yeah. Damage is done. I don't think we can be friends anymore, Bronstein12. Hail Bob says, you play me one game. Nah. Stan Hooper says, incredible. Mr. Dodgy says, I believe I should just read whatever is typed in the chat. Samuel L. Jackson is the greatest character actor of our time. Most people don't even know she's white. Okay, I didn't see the punchline coming. But seriously, who's supposed to be the greatest character actor? It's Daniel Day-Lewis? I don't know any theater actors or like artsy people, so I only know like the big blockbuster guys. Daniel Day-Lewis, one actor that I enjoy is Mark Ruffalo, mainly because he's Hulk, but also I think he's a good actor. Spotlight, Foxcatcher. Those are all the movies I've seen with him. Bishop g5. Typically, you don't go bishop g5 until I've castled, because now if you go bishop h4, I can go g5 and I won't have to worry about my king being stuck on g8. So, well, bishop e3 is of course possible, but that looks a little like moving back and forth, because I would probably play h6 very soon. Anyway, still bishop e3, it's this eternal question, which I've wrestled with in other Banter Blitz shows. Do you take on e3? Do you go bishop back to a7? Do you go knight d4? What do you do? So many options. Bishop d5, on the other hand, just a blunder. Kuzma says, what about Billy Bob Thornton? I don't know, is he on the list of greatest character actors? I enjoyed Sling Blade. I think Sling Blade is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And in many ways, I felt a kinship to the guy from Sling Blade. In that, I don't know, I can just identify with homicidal simpletons. I don't think that's the movie, that's the message you're supposed to take away from it. He's a good guy, and it's a very touching piece. And some nice acting by Billy Bob Thornton, indeed. Not sure he got the Oscar for it, but he should have. Did he? Let's find out. Billy Bob Thornton. He's also the weirdo in Fargo, right? Sling Blade Oscar. Oh yeah, he did win. Oh no, he was just nominated? How could he not have won? Who won? Sorry, WTF, but this is an even bigger conspiracy than Pizzagate that we're trying to get to the bottom of here. Who won the Oscar in 1997? Should have been Billy Bob Thornton. Geoffrey Rush? Shine? Come on. I didn't see that movie, but I'm pretty sure it was worse than Sling Blade, like the performance. No offense to Mr. Geoffrey Rush, who has played great many pirates. See, I know my movies. Now I'm in 1998. What happened here? Okay, I should go back to the game for a second. My apologies, I got very distracted there. But I honestly think that Billy Bob should have won for Sling Blade. Which, if you're not gonna learn anything from today's show, apart from the fact that I'm very mean and I did not play you, even though I only played you once before, then it should be that Billy Bob Thornton did not win the Oscar for his performance in Sling Blade, which is a movie you should see if you have not seen it yet, and that it's a great, great injustice. And I say that without having seen the movie that won the Oscar, or the actor that won the Oscar for Best Actor in the movie Shine, Trophy Rush. So clearly Billy Bob Thornton was robbed. Now that we've established that, Ambitious Pawn is backing it up, and we can get back to the game. I'm a pawn up, not a very ambitious pawn, but still a pawn up, against Mr. Pizzagate. Are you one of these conspiracy theorists that only believes in Pizzagate and you spend a lot of time researching that, or do you believe all of it? The moon landing, Building 7, that aliens built the pyramids, Michelle Obama's gender. Like, what kind of conspiracy theorist are you, WTF Pizzagate? Fill me in. I could have taken on c2, but in order to do that, I would have had to look at the position. I don't know, like, I could come across as sounding disrespectful to my opponents. I never mean that. I normally mean disrespect to myself for my inability to focus. And I'm aware it's part of the shtick that I will still win most of these games, which frankly, if I have twice the rating of my opponent, is not a big miracle. But yeah, please note, if you're an opponent or one of those opponents I only played once, then never again, because I'm a bad person, that I never mean any disrespect to you. But I do frequently mean disrespect to myself, because I don't like myself. So if you can't like yourself, how can you like anybody else? How can you expect anybody else to like you? Those are the big questions, which I'm sure no one before me has wrestled with. Like, I'm the one who discovered all these problems of humanity. What else are we discussing? Jay Elmans thought Bandits with Billy Bob Thornton was a good movie. Not sure I've seen it. Kuzma is bringing up the eternal question. That one I feel we've discussed a fair amount on this very program. What is your favorite or the best Nicolas Cage movie? And just a small note, I will block or ban, I'm not sure I can ban people, but if I can, I shall do so. Everybody that says, oh, it's Leaving Las Vegas is such a touching portrayal of a man, whatever, of an alcoholic or whatever he's doing. Obviously, Leaving Las Vegas is not in the conversation. It is one of the big three. I feel like we're talking about this every day. I don't. I feel like Nicolas Cage, strangely, gets too much play here, while we don't talk enough about Pizzagate. Anyway, thanks for the game, Mr. Pizzagate. Keep us posted on all the conspiracies. Or maybe just that one. That's my question. Is it that one? Gonna have to do more research. Catweasel says Birdie is the best movie with Nicolas Cage, in his humble opinion. Is it better than Con Air? It's so hard to beat Con Air. Let us play. Long-time listener, no-time player, Michailo Granik. Finally, we meet Mr. Michailo. After c4, he goes e5, which I consider the best move as well. And knight f6, I shall fianchetto my bishop. Generally, there's two schools of thought here. One is that it's nice and smooth to go e3, knight e2. And the other is the knight is always better on f3 because it controls the e5 and the d4 square from f3. While from e2, it doesn't really control a lot of squares. I'm more with team put the knight on f3 and take it from there. But both, of course, have legit raisons d'être. Is bishop g5 a good move here? Not so sure. One hand, the bishop doesn't really contribute to the fight for the central squares. On the other hand, it's a bishop. Bishops, bigger knights is one of the two reasons, two rules that I live my life by. The other is I live my life 1/4 mile at a time. Hang on. I can take here a petite combinaison, very petite. It's not really a combinaison, it's more of an exchange operation. He can take on a1, but I would recapture, and then I would win an exchange. Well, after rook c8 and take back here, I can just remove my rook. And now I'm up in exchange in a pawn. It's a beautiful day. What else are we discussing? I read that Robert Duvall is a great actor. Yeah, hard to disagree with that. He's the consigliere. He's Irish-German. Now, probably that's just his character, right? Kuzma says, for me, Godfather 1, 2, best movies all time. Also hard to disagree with that. I don't think that's really a minority opinion. But yeah, they're also, I don't know, I don't really have a list. Those are some of the movies that I've watched the most. Of course, not as often as the true classics, such as Dodgeball, Kung Fu Hustle, Anchorman, the other guys. But it's a slightly different conversation. I am trying to open the B file. The C file as well, but mainly the B file for Mr. Rook. And now his pieces will start hanging. And you know how it is. Loose pieces drop off. Hanging, hanging, panging. It's over pretty soon. Jan2555 says, can you do a Marlon Brando impression? Not really, but if you scroll back all the way to the beginning, I opened the show with a Marlon Brando quote, even though it fit. Michael J is saying, The Usual Suspects is one of my all-time favorites movies in the genre. Yeah, it's a good movie. I don't think many people would disagree. Not sure which genre it is. Yeah, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled is to make the world believe it didn't exist. Just like the greatest trick that illusionist ever pulled was to not be the best movie covering magicians of the year. What year was The Illusionist? And The Prestige, which is a better movie? Let's find out. The Illusionist. Both good movies, by the way. Both recommended The Illusionist and The Prestige. But The Prestige is arguably Nolan's best movie. So if you haven't watched The Prestige, what are you doing with your time? The Illusionist is 2006. So let's see if The Prestige is also 2006. Yep, both 2006. Both very good movies. But The Prestige, slightly more prestigious. We're playing another London system. I've explained many a times that putting the knight on d2 instead of the knight on f3 so early is more challenging. For details, please watch part 4 of my video series on the sidelines and so on. Because here the c4 is good with the knight on d2. Wouldn't be as good because you can go queen c2. And I would not have the trick. Run! Bishop f5, I'm not sure about. After h3, h6, I'm very fine. But he should have challenged that bishop immediately by going knight h4. Now I have everything that a boy could ever hope for. Which is, I already got in the thematic pawn push. And I will continue to do damage to his formation on the queen side. For example, by going bishop a3, when the threat of bishop b2 is looming. He's going to have to try to find some tactics like e4, maybe knight e4, some knight c4 business, but it doesn't look very convincing. Here we go. Well, that's just 2 pawns. 2 pawns and a funeral. Castles he could take on a3 and go bishop d6. Should still be good for me, but I'm not sure I want that. Do I want that? Decisions. Now this looks smoother. Threatening knight f4 or knight c3. What time is it? Oh, we've already been going for an hour and a half? Okay, I don't think I said last game. Did I say last game? I can't remember. My life really is the real life version of Memento. I say stuff and then I forget about it. 15 seconds later. As for the game, I should still be winning, even though I'm not sure I've done very well. Instead of bishop c4, I thought bishop f3 was a better move somehow. How do I do this? This is a powerful horsey, so I'll get rid of it. All the pretty horses. Illusionist does a good job of hanging around. He's still in trouble. Because you tend to be in trouble when you're pieced down for only 2 pawns that are not very far advanced. But so far, as I said, he's done a good job of hanging around. My technique, as has often been the case in these shows, far from stellar. It's not even interstellar. Doesn't make any sense. I wish what I said would make sense once in a while. E4 sort of weakens d4. So let's have a look at Mr. d4. Would you mind parting with your d4 pawn, sir? Still want to take it? Ideally, I should not allow him to queen the a-pawn. Just, you know, a note to self. So how do I accomplish that lofty goal? Like this? Once again, not sure if it was the cleanest of solutions, but it should be good enough. I can't get enough of your pawns. Please give all your pawns to me. I know my singing is impressive. Rook b3. The rook never bothered me anyway. It won't end well, illusionist. Told you, the prestige. Never forget about the prestige. Did I miss mate in one? It's not impossible. Somehow I really don't want to exchange this pawn for this pawn. But I might have to. Well, I didn't have to. But you know how it is. What are you hoping for, Mr. Illusionist? Are you trying to flag me? Would you do that to me? Do you like your chances of flagging me here? Because if you do, you know nothing about flagging. The art of flagging is not pre-moving when we're down to 2 seconds against 34. It is talking enough nonsense to lure your opponent into thinking, I have all the time in the world, this guy is busy talking nonsense. Until, boom, he ran out of time. What am I missing? Bowie is Nikola Tesla in Prestige. That's right, Bowie is, well, I haven't seen much of his acting, but yeah, he's a charismatic dude, so he was fantastic in the Prestige. Little known fact, he was the first option that, what's his name, Villeneuve had for the Jared Leto role in Blade Runner 2049. And since Jared Leto didn't work at all in that movie, I think having Bowie would have maybe stopped me from falling asleep. Would have made it a much better movie. Much better. But, of course, Bowie passed away, so that did not happen, sadly. Alright, last game, Palapiti. First game I ever played against Palapiti. So, let's do it. Let's play g3. The fourth best move in the starting position, right? d4, e4, c4, knight f3. fifth best move. Even though g3, I'm not sure it's inferior to c4. I think they're pretty much the same. I'm not sure about d4. I'm trying to use Palapiti's move order. Knight f3 was of course possible, but then e5. He gets the center. Well, now we get some weird hybrid Chigorain slash whatever. I don't know what you would call this opening. In general, I always believe white should be slightly better with the knight on c6, but things are never that easy. And Ambitious Pawn saying Blade Runner 2049 is not that good. I guess you missed the part where I voiced my complaints, even though I overslept the middle act, like this meditative pace. It's not for me, it's just too boring. Do something! But I had similar complaints about the old Blade Runner. These fight sequences, it takes like 20 minutes and nothing ever happens, like, ugh. But at least the world of the original Blade Runner felt lived in, as they call it, right? There were people around, it felt very vibrant. Well, in this one, whenever I woke up, I just saw Ryan Gosling like looking sad, entering a new CGI like very stylish, but very weird looking location. So yeah, I was into it. As for this position, your black is solid here. Knight on c6 is a little dumb. But nothing special is going on. I'll just make, as usual, humble, quiet moves until I get the chance to take one of his pawns. Then I'll take that pawn. Then I'll convert it by winning on time. And Mr. Dodgy is rightly pointing out there's not even a single car chase in Shakespeare. Throw in some explosions, dude. I could do without the car chases. Even though I like the car chase in Baby Driver. So I think if Shakespeare had access to cars, he would probably have come up with like a Baby Driver type car chase. Because from all I've been told, like I wouldn't read his stuff obviously, but from all I've been told, this Shakespeare dude, gifted writer. What else are we discussing? Bronstein 12 is asking, what is your favorite Ryan Gosling movie? I'm gonna be a little embarrassed by my answer, but the honest answer is The Notebook. Not a genre I follow a whole lot, romantic comedies, but I find The Notebook just to be a beautiful movie, and I enjoy watching it. What else do I enjoy anymore? Oh, I enjoy The Nice Guys. It's a recent movie, the buddy cop comedy with Russell Crowe. Very, very funny. Check that out. Ryan Gosling's showing some range there. Because normally he plays like this quiet noir leading man where he does move his face like in Drive and so on. Or now in the new Blade Runner. But yeah, The Nice Guys I found hilarious. Feeling I'm missing one great Gosling movie, but no, that's my list. Notebook, Nice Guys. Oh, and yeah, I was worried. Ambitious Pawn saying, good lord, The Notebook. Yeah, it's a bit of a soft spot. Chink in my armor that I like that movie. But I signed a contract that I would never lie to you people. I would call you people a lot, but I would always stay true to my deepest thoughts like, even though I'd like to dislike it, I don't dislike The Notebook. So, there you go. It's out. It's sad. Give me that knight. Let me look up Ryan Gosling movies. What are we missing here? La La Land, haven't seen it. Crazy Stupid Love, saw that, it's alright. Drive, saw that, yeah, fine. Place Beyond the Pines, I haven't seen. Blue Valentine, I believe I've seen, can't really remember much of it. The Nice Guys, yeah, I like that one. Lars and the Women, I don't know that one. Ides of March, I haven't seen. Only God Forgives, I haven't seen. The Big Short is a good movie, but yeah, not a big Ryan Gosling role. Half Nelson. No, I stand by my original list of 2. Notebook, Nice Guys. And Ambitious Porn keeps telling us about Brawl in Cell Block 99. I'll check it out. Is it an action movie? Is there like a brawl going on? Maybe in a cell block? Is it like the Raid Part 2? That's the biggest jail brawl I can think of. Brawl in Cell Block 99. Oh, 95% Rotten Tomatoes. I'm sold. Where can I watch it? Is it on Amazon? Vince Vaughn? Does Vince Vaughn decide to make a good movie again? Who knew? Sorry, I'm checking my Amazon Prime account to see if I have access to Brawl in Cell Block 99. I'm even willing to spend money on it, like $3.99 to rent it. I don't think I want to own it. Let's see if that's possible. Some soundtracks called Brawl in Cell Block 99. Show results for digital music? No! Amazon Video. Let's look there. It's my move? No. Doesn't look like it's on Amazon yet. I'm going to have to do more research. It just come out? Is it in the cinemas? What's the story with this mysterious Brawl movie of yours? I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's open the position up. What are we doing in the chat? Are we just naming movies now? American Psycho is a good movie. District 9 is good. Zodiac, good movie. The Gift, good movie. Is that what we're doing now? Just naming good movies? Where's the context? Nine Queens is a good movie. Would be nice for Palapiti to have 9 queens right now, because I just took his 1 queen. He doesn't have any backup. Argentinian movie, right? 9 queens. Nueve reinas. See, I'm global, baby. I can't pull that off. Gimme. Yummy, man. Yay, I win. Feels like we've been going way too long because it's been so much fun. As always, thank you everybody for joining, for putting up with my whining, and for all your patience. Because I know it can be very frustrating if you really want to play a game and then you don't get chosen or you have to wait till the end of the show, till next show. I know it's very upsetting. Thanks to those who I got to play. Thanks to those who gave me movie recommendations in the chat. And as we all know, Ambitious Pawn, he's not much of a chess player, dare I say so. I believe we've given up on his case after years of trying to talk sense into the man. Stop watching movies, spend all your time studying chess. He keeps coming up with movie recommendations, but I trust his judgment on movies. So I will figure out a way to watch that Cell Block 99 business and report about it. Maybe not next time we see each other, but at some point in the distant future. Thank you guys so much. Did I say that already? Can't remember. But I do remember. Let me read out some random quote and then make it sound like mine. Because that's how you sound smart. Pay no attention to that man behind the curtain. See you next time. Bye.